Boom. Okay. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry, I ruined your introduction. Go ahead.
Now I'm off. I was just hoping this guy's been inspiring me, but somebody who's been inspiring me even more than the art of talk is Forrest Hickman.
You're very inspirational.
Very. I don't know if I've ever been described as inspirational before.
There's a first time for everything.
There is. Today is the day.
I think you are, man. You are the OG, the original Nebraska Realty. And also the weird thing is, like, when we talk, I don't know, sometimes I talk to the people, sometimes I talk to the camera, sometimes I talk just to you. I don't know. Right. We just go wherever. But Forrest Hickman is the original OG of Nebraska Realty. He was way back. Now, how many realtors are there with Nebraska Realty in Scottsbluff?
You know, I haven't counted recently. I think at least 24, 25, maybe 26 last time I counted.
We got big quick.
Yeah.
Big quick.
And it started with you.
It did.
What did you think when you were there jumping? Did you have this vision kind of like in your brain when you?
Not at all. Not in the slightest. My old broker sold out to Nebraska Realty. So I looked at the marketing and with the hometown feel that Nebraska Realty offers, they still offer the big mega advertising. So that was the big decision when my broker said, hey, that previous company's no longer going to exist out here in Western Nebraska. We're going a different route. We're selling out to Nebraska Realty. Nebraska Realty is going to take everything over. So I was a sole agent out here for Western Nebraska. And so I made the decision to make the transition, came over to Nebraska Realty, and have been rocking and rolling ever since, was the OG by myself, almost 8 months, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then Caitlin came on,
Yep.
and it's just exploded. It's just been phenomenal.
What did Forrest tell you when you were originally, like, what did you like to make you believe in Forrest?
Here's what I was going to say. I think this is a pivotal moment for us, right? I remember the very first time I talked to Forrest, I was in the middle of a remodel, and this agent introduces himself. We have this nice conversation. He wants to show a property. Your clients made an offer on that property,
yes.
That one south of Kimball, right? The whole transaction was fantastic. There were things that came up that I had never dealt with. And Forrest obviously had never dealt with it either and just attacked it, right? He was like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and we are going to get answers and we're going to get results. And I was like, I want this guy in my corner. I was so impressed. I'm just like, well, eventually things might work out. But I think the drive, I don't know if tenacity is the word that I want to use, but Forrest is not afraid to step up in ways that people need to. And I really like that about you.
Just shooting from the hip. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And just jumping in there.
I remember immediately saying I was impressed with him. And then I looked him up online. It presents himself so well. And I was impressed.
Where did you learn? What do you think in your past, helped you to be like that? Like, where did that come from?
Before I got my real estate license, I had zero sales experience. Absolutely none. My entire life from the day that I turned 18 has been military, law enforcement, and railroading. That's it. No, I got my real estate license on a whim. It was going to be a hobby, a slight hobby, few transactions a year, something to occupy my time away from trains, away from the railroad, just something a little bit different. With my 20-year law enforcement career, I've always had a desire to serve the community. So this let me go back into doing that. And I think my ability to relate with people, I always call myself, a super blue collar realtor. I'm not showing up in slacks and loafers and a button down with a tie or anything like that. So I'm super. Not,
you just described what Taylor wears.
Taylor, you look nice. Don't get me wrong. You look nice. Thanks. You very, very. But that's just not ever been my style. And I was gonna get it as a hobby. Just kind of hang out and do the railroad and do real estate on the side. And then I got into real estate and it has absolutely exploded for me. And it gives me that community being able to serve my community again, being able to interact with people and make one of the biggest decisions of their lives by purchasing or selling their home. And it's just something that I've really loved doing. I've just been really blessed, really, really blessed.
That's impressive even in itself.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought it was going to be just something, just a couple of transactions a year, just a couple of few something on the side. And then, especially in that first year, first contract within 2 weeks of getting my license.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And then 20 plus transactions that first year. I never thought it could be a career. But then as I built my business over the last 4 or 5 years, it has become a career and one that I enjoy. And so, yeah, we're going to keep on doing it, keep on rocking it. And now joining this group.
I wanted to yell something. I wish I had like a shirt I could have ripped open, but
Right.
Yeah, that would have been weird.
We can't lose the
button
buttons.
down.
yeah, this is actually this came from a garage sale. It was Terry Jessen's.
I really thought you were going to say a girl. No, this was a woman's shirt.
I wish.
It's mysterious that the button on the wrong side.
I have a lot of those. No, thank you for your service, though. That's not something to be taken lightly. And I think that's probably where that sense of, leadership, and then it makes sense with the 20 years of law enforcement, also your service in that, and then just kind of like demanding, justice and being that voice of reason. So that makes a lot of sense. And then with the railroad, BNSF.
I've actually worked for Union Pacific and BNSF.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which-
Some people will tell you that I'm a special kind of stupid because I've not only worked for one Class 1 railroad, I've worked for two. Not saying anything against railroading. It's a different lifestyle. It's different lifestyle, different demands on you personally and your family. And that lack of scheduling that I experienced is just not conducive to the lifestyle I want to lead now.
Are you a fan of Berkshire Hathaway then?
I do like them. They make a lot of money. They make a phenomenal amount of money. They do make a lot of money. They are a typical mega business.
Ooh, yeah. That's pretty awesome. And then can you talk a little bit about that schedule? In case there's anybody out there who's thinking of maybe I should become an entrepreneur, maybe I should work for myself. What does that look like the day that you wake up and you realize that maybe I don't have, like, no one's telling me to be here at this time? What does that kind of look like?
Takes a lot of discipline. It absolutely takes a ton of discipline on yourself. Like, I have to plan my days. Like, this is my business. This is what pays my bills. This is what covers my house payment, my car payments, my insurance. And so it's just like going to the office, even though I don't have a requirement to be there, I have requirements on myself. So we were just talking earlier about like a typical day for me as I get up 6:45, I get my kid to school, my youngest. And then I'm back at my laptop making sure all my paperwork from the evening before that has trickled in, that's all taken care of. If I have listings that I need to update, if I have anything like that to do, I do that. I book all of my listings or my showings later on throughout the day. When Landon, my youngest son, is getting out of school, he gets picked up from school. We get home, we get a snack. We do any paperwork from any of the showings or listings that I had done that day. And then I'll do evening showings if I have them. And then some evening time with my son, with how he's at my house half the time and at his mom's house half the time. I really try and overbook my times without him. That's my weekend showings, my open houses, my travel time, all of that when he's not with me, so I can always focus on that family time too. And you just still have to have the same work-life balance that I didn't have at the railroad, being on call 24/7, 365 days a year, unless I have a scheduled day off. You're at their mercy on when they want to call you and when they want to send you to work and send you out of town for work. So the opportunities that real estate has given me, not financially, but personally, I wish I would have done it years ago to give my children, my older two children, the same opportunity that my youngest son has. because my youngest son, with this being looking for myself, being an entrepreneur, gives me much more quality time at home. I don't miss his events. I'm much more present. So if anybody is out there thinking about making the leap, I recommend make the leap. You know, great rewards come from great sacrifices. It will be a grind the first few years until you get yourself established. You know, I advertised in every avenue I could possibly advertise in the first few years. And now my advertisement, over probably 90% of them come from word of mouth. People that have worked with me in the past, they know who I am as a person. They know who I am as a realtor. And so now just the word of mouth continually keeps the engine running to where I can continue to be successful.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I think you've done a really nice job at that. And I like that you said you can stack up your workload more, you know, when you have a little more free time. That's one thing that I definitely enjoy about real estate too. You have that freedom.
I think that's very important. Yeah. You touching base on that. And if anybody is thinking about that and wants to get some more information, definitely give Forrest a call, give Caitlin a call, reach out to us. And it is kind of nice that knowing that with joining a team, you don't have to go out there and do it all on your own. We've already made a lot of mistakes between, you know, the three of us or the seven of us, and then he's on the team that we can kind of tell you, hey, don't go over there, right? That's like, all I want to know is where I'm going to die so I can stay away from that. And that's a big, I won't go there. You don't have to make those mistakes and stumble. You can give us a call. Give us a call, and we'd love to kind of just, you know, chat with you and say, hey, these are where some things that we did. And I always look back, and instead of saying, hey, I should have done that, I always look back and say, I could have done that. Like, everything brought you to that point where you are now. But that's a big thing with having kids and realizing, like, I can be present. And, you know, it's like money, you can trade off a lot of things, right? But like, really, when it boils down to it, money's like a baton. And when it's said and done, you're going to have to hand it to the next person. So it's nice. It's a security net. It's nice to have, but really you can't buy, I mean, it sounds like what cliche or whatever, but you can't buy happiness. And when you are there and you're present and you're there for those moments that maybe you're not going to get again, that's something that I don't think any amount of money when you're on your deathbed, they'll be like, hey, we'll swap you for that. And you're like, no, I like those moments that I had. So that's very interesting. This moment, we would like to say thank you to our sponsors, right? First and foremost, San Pellegrino. Wow, that's refreshing. Yeah, I love you, San Pellegrino.
That is the fizziest water.
It is.
Sparkling mineral water.
Sparkling fizzy water.
I actually put it in my coffee. So this is going to be, I made some orange juice for myself, and I put it in our orange juice this morning, little virgin mimosas.
Ooh.
Pretty good. Plus the minerals, the trace minerals. San Pellegrino, I absolutely love you. And, you know, if I could just drink this nonstop, maybe I can. Maybe I should.
Maybe.
And we also have another amazing sponsor, and his name is Oak J.
Oh, yeah.
Oak J. Tell me about Oak J, will you?
Oak J Custom Homes and Remodels has sponsored another one of our podcasts. Thank you. Yeah, excellent work. I've been seeing some of that posted on Facebook. He's doing a custom tile job right now, over 4,000 square feet, and just amazing work. Lots of different things that he can do, but check him out on Facebook. Give him a call for a free estimate.
He also did our coffee bar, and we're going to show you some videos. And that coffee bar is great. It brings us so much joy. We have so much he built us a San Pellegrino bar is really what it is. So far. But enough of the awesome partnerships.
And as a realtor that works primarily the entire western end of the state,
yeah,
having those resources in every single community are important.
Absolutely. He has an interesting contact to for real estate. So he can go in and make bids for basically bringing a home able to qualify for FHA, VA, USDA loans. So that's something that's very interesting as a seller. You can get a bid and say, okay, now I know whether I want to do that work now or I want to do it once I get an offer with that type of loan. I could have somebody come in that is trained for what they need to look for and get all that work done. And then now my house qualifies for every single loan type. So that's kind of an interesting thing for us as realtors. You know, that takes a little bit off of our plate, knowing that somebody can go in and say, okay, here's what you need to look for. Here's what it'll cost you. And then a seller has that number in mind when they're ready to take an offer that might require some of that work. So it's another little benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've also watched this man with the eye of a hawk, him and his crew working with a very critiquing eye. And I was impressed with their work ethic and, you know, no really downtime. So that's nice to know that when you're paying somebody, that you don't have to be, you know, thinking, are they going to nickel and dime me? Are they going to come back and change us up and stuff? So that is very nice. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Oak J, for sponsoring this. And we hope to have you at many more in that San Pellegrino bar. But I have something I would like to talk to Forrest about, right? It's all been business, business, business. What about fun, fun, fun? What do you do? What do you ride for fun? How do you find that outlet?
My outlet is my 2015 Harley Street Glide.
Sounds fast.
I don't know about fast. Had motorcycles a high majority of my adult life. I've gone from crotch rockets to mid-sized street bikes to then now I'm up to baggers because they're more like riding a couch. But on my nice 2015, she has a very nice custom, fully done paint job on her. And she goes down the road really nice. And so, yeah, I hop on her, go up to the Black Hills, ride around, spend some time in Deadwood.
Dang.
Yeah.
How many seats you got on there?
Just 2.
One for
Maybe.
you and
Like you have a spot, Taylor.
So yeah, a lot of my friends have bikes, and so yeah, that's kind of our getaway. Other than that, fun stuff is mostly with the kids. My oldest lives down in Colorado Springs. My daughter goes to college at Mitchell Tech. She's going to college for nursing, and then I have my 10-year-old.
oh man, yeah.
Oh, and I have to give a shout out. I have a new grandbaby. A new little grandson.
How old is he?
Just over 4 months.
Oh, yeah. I know
And
how that is.
he just started giggling. And luckily for me, my oldest and his wife moved from West Virginia to Colorado Springs
Nice.
about just over 2 years ago. And so, like, I'm the closest now. So I get down there every couple of few weeks and as often as I can to get baby snuggles. And yeah.
Those are the best.
My niece finally smiled at me last night. I was pretty happy. I don't think I dyed my hair a little bit darker. This is what I'm blaming it on. She probably just decided she didn't like something with my face, but yeah, she was fine. And then just started screaming when she'd see me and it was very sad. But last night I got a smile. So I feel like I'm moving up. Also, another subject, little birdie told me Forrest is going on a pretty awesome hike this year.
Where are you going?
Japan.
Dang.
Yep. I've made a decision in life that every 10 years I want to do something pretty epic. And backstory on this, my oldest son is also a veteran, served proudly in the Air Force, was stationed just outside of Tokyo for a couple of years. Always wanted to get over and visit him. On a sadder note, my daughter was going through chemo at the time. She's a cancer survivor. We're 10 years remission, so all is good. God is good. Fantastic. But during that time when he was stationed there, I had other priorities with Savannah and all of her chemo treatments and stuff. And so I never got the chance to visit. So we started talking about this a couple of years ago. On the end of July, I turned 50. And on my 50th birthday, I'm going to climb Mount Fuji.
Ooh, that is going to be fun. I got to look it up.
Yeah,
It's more of a hike. It's a long hike. It's not climbing equipment, good hiking boots, and a nice stick. When you turn almost 50, you have to check out sticks when you're on hikes. That's a good stick.
Yeah,
we used them just to go for a walk.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
With training. Yeah. How long of a hike is it? How long of a climb?
When my oldest son did it when he was stationed over there, I think he said it was about 4 hours up and then about 2.5 hours down.
That's where
That's
those
not
sticks
bad.
will come in handy when you're coming down.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, because then you're like bracing, cuss off the knees and stuff. But and climbing up is also. So, I mean, it's just nice to put some onto the arms as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. What's the elevation?
I want to say at the peak, it's around 12,000 feet.
That's good. Yeah, Japan will be, man. You're going to be coming back feeling. You'll have superpowers when you get back to 3,900 feet or around here.
Yeah.
And earlier, I know, so you're saying you got 2 offices, right? You got one in Scottsbluff, you got one in Gehring, and then you have an Alliance.
Out of my house. I think we've got other new exciting news besides me joining the team. Is that I think I've got another agent coming on there in Alliance.
Heck yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
So the battle plan is to do a brick and mortar, an actual office there.
Yeah.
Finally get some signage up, and then we'll just kind of see where it goes from there. You know, when I decide to leave the railroad, we got to go all in. We got to go big. We got to go big, go home.
Yeah.
You know,
Heck yeah.
go big, sell homes.
Go big.
Sell homes.
I like that. That should be your tagline.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Go big and sell homes.
Yeah.
Big
Oh.
and sell homes.
What I know I've asked you this, but I'm going to ask you again. What areas do you cover that potential buyers and sellers can call you for?
Yeah, when I started with real estate, and you know, not to mention their name very much, I was the only agent in all of Western Nebraska for Remax. And so with that big of a machine putting down leads, immediately out of the gate, I had to go to every single community. So stationed more or less out of Alliance, Scottsbluff here with this new office. But I have done deals in almost every single community in Western Nebraska. I always joke around, have pickup, will travel. So wherever the clients call me from, whether it's Chadron, Gordon, Rushville, Crawford, Alliance, Hemmingford, Bridgeport, Berea, Scottsbluff, Gehring, Kimball, Sidney, even the little tinier towns, Minutair, Mitchell, Lyman, I've had listings at. The furthest east I've gone is about Hyannis.
Okay.
The furthest south I've gone is Sidney, and the furthest north is like that Chadron, Crawford, Rushville, Gordon up there on the ridge area. That we bring such a phenomenal advantage to the advertising. You know, that's one of the main reasons that I came to the team, hands down, is the advertising. You know, the fact that it is photography crews doing the pictures, video drones, just showcasing every single property to the best of our ability, and then flooding Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, just flooding the social media aspects of it is really like, I have had a solid business for, 4+ years now. How do we elevate that? How do I take that to the next level to where I'm giving my clients the best service that they deserve? And that's regardless of whatever community or what size property that we're talking about. The teetering point was the marketing that the Helios Real Estate Group offers, and then a specific property. And stay tuned, because it will be coming up in the next couple of weeks, of just a super unique, fantastic property there in Alliance that we'll be listing here in the next couple of weeks after we get the film crew over there and do all that. And I was just like, we had our conversations about me joining the team, and I was like, I do really well independently. I could use some more support because I continue to get busier and busier. And then I saw this property, and it was like something was screaming at me inside that says, okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it 100%. We're going to knock it out of the park, because this listing deserves it. And then moving forward, all of my listings deserve it.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, we're going to be able to say, we as a group collectively, but I'm going to be able to offer that much more improved advertising to my clients without charging them more. What? Better services? Elevated services without an additional cost to the client? I think that's what real estate's all about, is just being able to elevate what we do on a daily basis and give our clients the best product that we possibly can without taking it out of their pocketbook.
100%. We have such a large market share that, it's like we don't have to nickel and dime those ones. We have an ability just because of that, really because of that marketing. It looks like a movie scene, like we're filming a movie when we're over there with like the lights, the cameras and the drones and stuff. And it's just absolutely, and it's a lot of fun. That's the biggest thing, is just having fun. And you can have the best product in the world. That's why companies hire salesmen to go out and to tell people about that product. Because if you don't have that, so you can have an awesome house with a great price and ready to go. But if it wasn't listed at all, if there was zero marketing, nobody would know it was for sale. So it's really just offering that and putting that out there, and really just partnering with individuals. I think that's something that we all strive to do with our clients, is to be partners, not just salespeople, but really partnering with them and taking that burden off of their shoulders, right? They're an expert at what they do, and that's what gave them an ability to buy that home. And we're experts at what we do. So when we go in there and partner with them, we're not trying to do what they do. We're not trying to tell them how to go make money on whatever they're doing. We're saying, look, we got a goal that we
mutual
goal, that we want to achieve, and we're going to work towards that. And sometimes that means that it's not for everybody. There's some people that we're just like, hey, yeah, we could do it, but maybe they don't like us or we don't like them or something, and it's just not worth that. So it's really not for everybody, but we definitely try to help out as much as we can, and then just have fun with it and go forward. And I don't know, it makes life a lot of fun. It makes, you can look at your face in the mirror when you shave. You don't shave, but maybe you don't either.
I put my makeup on in the morning.
Let's say, Taylor, I shaved this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, you look very clean cut on the sides.
Very clean cut on the sides. I have to keep the goatee though.
I wish I could get it.
I've had to keep the goatee since I got out of the military, because if I shave it off, I'd look like a 49-year-old baby. I have the worst baby face.
That's
so
awesome.
We have to keep.
I like it
A little bit.
Kelly said that. When she saw your photo like yesterday, she said that this morning and stuff. Can you grow a full beard?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Jealous.
Yeah, I can grow, but I look like Santa Claus.
Oh,
where it's all white, super gray.
Distinguished.
I don't know. Creepy. It gets a little bit to where it's slightly creepy, so we kind of avoid that.
Oh well, I wish I might try to get some facial hair. I don't know. I've been thinking about it recently.
I think you look good with a little bit of scruff.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd go full beard.
Yeah, the 5 o'clock shadow takes me 2 days to grow.
Oh.
So the second day. And then, I don't know, whatever. Well, we're not going to talk about my facial hair lack of.
I was just going to add on to that. I do really like what you both have said, because I think that real estate is something, especially after you've been in it for a while, like it's easy to just kind of get a little stagnant, not try to grow, not try to offer new things. But I also think that that's what makes the job more enjoyable and more interesting, is if you're constantly looking for something new that you can add to your business. And particularly if you can add that as a benefit to your clients without it costing them money, right? So like you said, it's not going to cost them anything extra, but they get this greater service. And then that helps elevate us, and it helps keep our minds fresh as to how can I continue to grow my business? Never just satisfied with, well, this is what's worked for years, so I'm going to keep doing that. No, let's try to advance and find something new. And so I think that's a really important aspect of the team as well.
Yeah. And just like really being a team player on there and realizing like, hey, if we're all going to go hunt, we're all going to go eat. And that's something that a lot of people, doesn't matter what industry, but the moment that they're like, I'll take 100% of this. Well, at that point, it's like, yeah, you can have 100% of zero or 100% of whatever they're able to basically. But when you start, do themselves, but when you start delegating things out and playing to each other's strengths and stuff, then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I can actually do a lot more, and that success will have the momentum behind it, and that will breed more success. And that's just kind of a very interesting, you can't scale. It's not scalable if you do every single piece yourself. And at that point, because there's only so much time in a day. So to be able to hand that out and say, yeah, you know what, I could pick up a camera and go take photos, or I could figure out how to do, videos and stuff like that. That's something, or we can just kind of delegate. You're smart enough, you go be a lawyer if you wanted to, but instead you hire a lawyer, right, to go in and then they do their part, and while they're doing their part, you go and do yours. So I think that's just kind of super exciting. I'm excited to see. I wanted to know though, how do you learn? Do you like to read? Do you like to listen? Do you like to do a mixture of both, or more like how do you like to learn?
I typically learn more by listening than I get bored with reading. Unless it's a personal novel or something like that I picked up. But more listening. So audiobooks. I'm on the road a lot in between listings, and so I'll download audiobooks. I'll listen to those when I have the time and take what pieces I can out of it and move forward. Back to like elevating and growing, just really quick. One thing that my original broker told me, very early on in my career, that has stuck with me to this day, was like, in his opinion, you had two styles of realtors. You had those that chase checks, and then you have those that take care of their clients. And he told me this, and it literally, Kobe, it stuck with me from the moment he said it to me. He said, if you take care of your clients, the checks will follow. And so that's how I based my business from day one, is that my main concern isn't the check at the end of the day or the check at the end of the 6 weeks after we close and things like that. It is taking care of those clients from the moment that they initially contact me in the best way that I possibly can. To where a lot of my clients, and I think it speaks for my business. I've had clients in the past where they've purchased a home. Circumstances have changed. A year later, they're looking to sell the same home. And at the time, one sticks out in Mitchell that I sold. And it was, 10, 11, 12 months later, they call me up and they're like, hey, now we need to sell the house because these circumstances have changed. I was like, oh, okay. Unfortunately, at that time, I was probably 7 to 10 days booked out, which I like to stay 2 to 3 solid days booked out. But I was just absolutely grinding. And I'm like, man, I would love to help you. You're great clients, but I'm 7 to 10 days out. And he's like, that's fine. It has to be you. And that brings a lot of pride in the business that you're developing on when previous clients call you back and say, I don't care. 7 to 10 days out, that's fine. Put us on the list as soon as you can get to us, but it has to be you. So that taking care of the clients, and ultimately I sold the house twice in 12 months. So there was the buyer's check on one side, the seller's check on the other side. So I took care of those clients, and those checks then followed, which was, and that's just something that has stuck with me for the last.
That's a really good point. Yeah. In a world of cause and effect, all you have to worry about is that cause. Like your income is a direct proportion to the value or contribution that you add to society. And I think a lot of people just get that wrong, and they're just so focused on how do I make more money? How do I do that? And it's instead just ask yourself, how do I add a value or contribution to society? And how do I, treat others the way that I'd want to be treated on there? And that is and you focus all your energy on that. You don't worry about those checks. They're going to come. It's inevitable. Right. If you do the cause, that effect's going to take care of itself. Right. You throw a ball up in the air, it's going to come down. So you just focus on throwing that ball in the air. Just, okay, what am I going to do? And then, we'll come down where it is. But that's a beautiful point there. And really kind of speaks, I think, to the way that you run your business, and to having people that want to come back to you is a big thing. And that's what's also nice is, with that delegating and having a team, is that you have a comfortable workload, and if you if you want to look at yourself and say, how can I 10 times this amount? Well, I can't. You know, if you were 7 to 10 days out and you 10 times that, nice 70 to 100 days out, like that's just not doable. So that's
have more days on market as an agent than I do of my houses. You know what I mean?
You'd be no. So then you just hand that, you know, and to have somebody that's a high caliber individual that you can hand that to, and to not worry, are they going to take good care of my clients? Or are they going to give that same service? So that's something, and that's why we have to be very cautious with individuals that we bring onto the team or have on the team. We want to make sure that we're all birds of a feather. And, you know, so if there's ever anything that we're not doing or that, you know, you see anything, just definitely reach out to us and let us know on there, because we want that open communication definitely as a team. And I'm just super excited. I think it's about time that, you know, it's that what you don't hate, you tolerate. And I think that there has been, for a long time in this industry here, things that have been tolerated and just subpar, really.
Yeah.
That it's like, well,
Absolutely.
it's all we have to do. And you do rattle
Absolutely.
some cages when you go in there and you change it up and you say, no, this is the new level that not only that we demand of ourselves, but, you know, that discipline equals freedom that you shared today, but that our clients are demanding. And that's becoming an industry standard. And for those that don't want to bring that to the industry, you know,
See you
can,
later.
see you later. Like it's beautiful. A lot of them serve their time. They don't have to continue on. You know, they can lay down that baton respectfully and just bow out, retire. You know, really, if you want to retire, just retire. The ones who are willing to, like Forrest, that are saying, I'm going to go full time. I'm going to go big and sell homes. Those that don't want to go big, go home.
Competition is fantastic. And if you're willing to up your game to my level, to the new industry standard, because we do have so many that got into a certain rut of this is acceptable in the industry. And then some of us newer agents, you know, are coming in and saying, no, but we can do better.
Yeah.
We can do better. And on this high level purchase or this high level sale, we can do it not only better, but we can do it for the same price. And it's not undercutting. It's just what society and the economy expects right now. More value for your money, you know,
More efficient.
more efficiency.
Yeah.
That's what I tell everybody, like on listing appointments. How quick can you get it listed? Usually within 2 days, 3 days. It depends. Now it depends on photography scheduling.
Yeah.
As I'm bringing in that new one, you know, I can usually get something listed within a couple of days. And I said, well, you know, what I've done the last 4 years is hone my skill set to where I have as much automated as I possibly can have automated, to where everything is simple, to where we can do paperwork via a Zoom call, because that's technology today. Let's have a 30, 45 minute to where if you're more comfortable to come in the office and sit across a desk from me, fantastic. I can do that for you. If your time constraints with your jobs and your children and everything that you have going on, you're not able to do that. All right. You got time for a 30-minute Zoom meeting? You got time for a 45-minute Zoom meeting? Let me go over this paperwork page by page, explain it all to you just like I would face to face. You can do it in your jams with your little cocoa and, you know, your mimosa, whatever you want to do. We can do it via Zoom.
Yeah.
You know, still face to face. We're having that face to face contact, and we can set it up. So it's the diversity in that you're able to handle whatever a client needs. They're few and far between, but I have clients you have to drive to.
Yeah.
Still pack it up. We drive to them. We get the paperwork signed. We drive back. You know, it's that dedication to the craft that is going to set us apart from everybody else. That just absolute 100% dedication to our clients. And that's another big reason why I made the decision, you know, to come to the team, is because I see very, very similar mindsets. I see similar projections. I see similar forecasting sites on where we want our business, what we want to do with them. Because ultimately we're still all independent. However, this team moving forward is a direction that I want to go. So that's why you guys finally talked me into it after a year.
Hell yeah. We're excited to see
I'm
where
excited
you
too.
go. I mean, with what you've kind of done, while, having another job and stuff, and now saying that, hey, this is full time and just going to throw all your weight into it. Very excited. And, Caitlin thought very highly of you and spoke very highly of you. And
You don't?
Well, I was gonna say for the few transactions, like the few, encounters and stuff.
It's just Caitlin.
I thought you were great for the few that I've had. You were very helpful. Forrest is suave and how I viewed it.
Yeah. So. The funny story is Andy Alloway and I had a Zoom meeting before I came on Nebraska Realty, just talk about concepts and what's the heart of Nebraska Realty. Because I had really built my business, based upon my own concepts and my own personal beliefs and my own moral compass. And so we were having a conversation, and then it rolled over to like tattoos, and I have a couple. If you haven't noticed, I have just, one or two. And so we were having the conversation about whether tattoos are, acceptable, and Andy's showing me his, and he's got a little peekaboo, under his shirt sleeve. And I had a sweatshirt on at the time. And I'm like, no, Andy, we're talking about tattoos, and pull my sweatshirt off with a short sleeve shirt. And he can see my sleeves and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, tattoos. Like I'm out,
They're
in the
tasteful.
public.
They look good.
I go to the same artist.
Oh,
Same artist. Shout out to Adam at Elixir Tattoo. Adam Brass there. Been going to him about once a month for, what did we figure? I was just in last week, about once a month, every month for going on 8 years now.
Oh my goodness.
gosh. What happens when you run out of room?
We're getting to that point.
Face.
We are getting, I said no hand tattoos.
Yeah, I like that one though.
And then a few months ago, he's like, what are we working on? And I'm like, you know what? I want a hand tattoo. And he's like, all right, man, whatever you want. But no face, no neck. No face, no
Forrest
neck.
Hickman, Nebraska Realty.
Realty.
And then Helios.
When I was with that other company, with Remax, I went down to the national convention in Vegas one year. There's actually balloon tattoos. People actually have the Remax balloon tattoo.
Oh,
I'm like, that is a dedication to the brand.
Yeah, that is definitely dedication.
Yeah, Taylor said I should get a sun on my whole back.
What was this part of your body that hurt the most getting tattooed?
Oh, anywhere there's a ditch, like inside the elbow.
Oh, yeah.
Or inside the nook. The nook hurts.
I'm sure I can find
I
it in a
just
book
had
somewhere.
some work done on my knee, in the back of the knee.
Yeah.
In that real tender
I've
spot.
heard that's pretty miserable.
But then again, if you look at it, like I go see Adam once a month, few hours. So it's not ever terrible. Like you can sit through almost anything for a few hours.
Yeah.
My son, when he got his sleeve done, he got it done in 3 sessions, full sleeve, shoulder to wrist, 8 hours on the outside, 6 on the inside, and then finished up with a final 4.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
All in 3 sessions. And now he's to the point where he's like, I don't know if I ever want a tattoo again. And I'm like, that's why I go only once a month for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Not that much pain, not that much healing. Everything is tolerable.
Healing, can't get it like wet.
Or pool, not in lake water, anything. It's an open source.
Do you like to swim?
Yeah, I'm more do floating.
Yeah.
I'm a floater.
Crazy. Even like putting a couple pounds on, the difference of how long it takes you to get to the bottom of the pool.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even with just like 5-10 pounds difference and stuff like that. Last time I went out, it took me forever to get to the bottom of the pool. I was like, what the heck? And yeah, it's because I put on some extra blubber on purpose. Maybe. Yeah. On purpose.
Doing some bulking.
Yeah, I've been bulking.
That's what
for
I
the
like to
last 12
say.
years.
When I'm just like eating my peanut M&Ms at night, I'm like, it's all right. I'm just bulking.
I'm just bulking.
I'm bulking for the last 10 years.
years. It's become a habit. Always a lifestyle.
I think I've been bulking for about 2 or 3 months now. Yeah.
Gotta eat big to be big, baby.
Yeah.
Do you ever mess around with fasting?
Yeah.
What's the longest you've gone?
Oh, I just used to do the intermittent.
Oh,
Before this last back injury, because I had that fusion a few months ago. I was hitting the gym 3 or 4 times a week, and then I do intermittent fasting, so 16 hours on. Usually 2 really higher protein meals.
Yeah.
In that 8 hours where I could eat, really watch the snacking. If I was drinking anything during the fast time, it was just black coffee or water.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that did really well. I was, after I had a previous shoulder surgery, I had ballooned up to almost like 240 pounds.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
And then with working out 3-4 times a week and then just doing the fasting, I had dropped under 200.
Oh, dang.
So
Well, you look good.
You lost a lot of
Yeah,
weight when you
I
did
did
that.
good.
Yeah.
I did. And I'm up since the back surgery, I'm up to about 215.
Yeah.
So I'd like to drop another 20 pounds and get back to my fighting weight.
Yeah.
Are you going to go back to fasting and you're 3 to 4 times a week at the gym?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm still not quite to the gym
Yeah.
release yet
Yes.
with the healing of my back. But started physical therapy.
Nice.
I see those demons a couple of times a week.
You tell them, is that what you call them when you go in?
I do.
Oh, good. So they
Caitlin, we've known each other for a few years. I'm
Yeah.
not shy.
Not at all.
Not at all.
We're excited for the things that are going to come, and then we'll have the release video. So with that,